Yo, 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 yo. What is up? What is up? What's going on, YouTube? How's everybody doing today? Thank y'all for tuning in. Yes, sir. I forgot my drink. Damn it. I forgot my water. How's everybody doing today, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to another DLA Fitness live stream show. Yes, sir. We got a nice little show lined up for you today. It is Thursday, so tomorrow's gonna be Friday. So you be close to your weekend. Get ready to do the things that you need to do. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully you had a good week. You know what I mean? Getting ready for. Hopefully you paid your rent because yesterday was the last day. Some of y'all might have to the 5th, but most people got to the 3rd. Get the rent paid, get the bills paid. Stay on top of those things. It ain't easy. We had a government shutdown and mess things up. This is a slow part of the year. It is what it is. It's life. You live and you learn. You learn how to roll with the punches and learn how to do things on your own fruition. On your own accord, develop your own philosophy and live your life the way you're supposed to. So hopefully you get what I just said, understood what I just said, the way I just said what I said. Yes. With that being said, hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully you're enjoying your week. Hopefully your week wasn't bad. But if it was bad, let Mr. Child break it down to you. Here we go.
You having a bad day? Did you die? I got shot. But did you die?
And as long as you did not get unalive, you are here and still able to make a change and difference and grind and make something good and better about yourself and others around you. So let's go. Yes. Yes. And just to let you know, we are simultaneously streaming. We're on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor. Whenever you see that thumb come around, let me see, is it on this one? There we go. The thumb just came up. So hit the thumbs up button right there to get the likes up and to get this algorithm out so people can get this message, because the message is much needed. People need to hear. I just got to reach one. That's how it goes. And you usually want to get one person to reach, because as long as you got one person to reach, you have did your job on this earth. You can't save them all. Superman couldn't do it, and neither can you. Contribute to today's show. Cash App, Venmo. Cash App is Daniel2888. Venmo is Danny-Daniel-00. That is correct. Be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, for today's show, we're going to go over 2 topics today. We're going to have to skip the fitness portion of today's show. It'll be all right. We're good. We're going to go over the economy, and we're going to go over AI. Okay, so we're going to go over economy and AI. They're kind of like one and the same on this episode. However, some stuff we gotta look into because it's gonna be very important the way the world is about to change. So first, for the economy segment of the show, we're gonna listen to a dude who's gonna speak on communism and feminism. All right, he's gonna speak on Scottish life, like life in is it Scotland, I believe, whatever it is. But he's gonna speak on feminism and communism and how they intertwine and are one and the same. And he's gonna break it down into such a way we can get an understanding how these two things are one and the same. And how there's basically, at the root of it all, feminists or communists want government intervention in every aspect of the family life. And we all know that shit does not work. So we're going to get a good understanding and to see what it is that communists want from the female and what the women want. And we're going to have to put this into perspective and look at the world as a whole and think to ourselves, is this a direction that we're going in? Is the majority of women nowadays, the majority of thinkers or people, even the younger generation coming up, is this the direction that we can see that most people are going towards? And we're going to have to pay attention and look to see how this works. It's not hard to figure out, but we're going to look in. He's going to dive in and break down how feminism and communism and how communists really basically tries to indoctrinate female and try to save the woman from the man who she is basically in some hellacious relationship with. And communism is like the savior to save the woman and bring her into the communist feminist sort of lifestyle and to basically, put her at equality with the man. But we'll see how in the end, if that is a benefit or detriment. So we'll see. So we're going to have to go in and dive in. It's a good video. I'm going to break it down as we go along. It's like a 12-15 minute video. So we'll have to stop in between and have some dialogue and discussion. But it's going to be good because it's going to make a whole lot of sense when it's said and done. Then we're going to go in and look at the World Economic Forum. For the AI segment of the show, we're going to go into the World Economic Forum. Now, if you don't know, World Economic Forum is basically how everything is ran at the end of the day, how everything is going to be moving towards the future, especially from a globalist perspective, the world economics, how they're going to globalize everything in the world. And they do this, and this is all governments come together, kind of like the IMF and the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum basically gathers all of the governments and politics and civil societies and all that together as they move toward a global one sort of government living in a sense. But what we're going to do is we're going to go in and check, and we're going to look at the job report from 2025. And we're going to look to see exactly what the World Economic Forum has said about the future of the economy moving forward as far as the years 2030, 2035 go, because we're going to see the trajectory and what's going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years. And it's something that you might want to see and get to understand and get to learn about and know what exactly is going to happen, because it's going in that direction whether you like it or not. So you either need to figure it out, learn it, read, because most people don't read. They don't like to read. They don't even know who the World Economic Forum is or the IMF is. Like the thing, they don't know shit. So when we look into this, you're going to see what direction we're headed. They already got the plan. You're a part of it, whether you like it or not, whether you care or not. You're a part of this plan, and you're going to go along with the plan. There's nothing you can do about it. You can, and especially if you don't know about it, you're going to be in it whether you like it or not. So we're going to check that out and look at that for sure. And when we dive in, we're going to look at what's going to be important as far as jobs go in the future, and what's going to be important as far as resilience, creativity, productivity, and purpose moving forward in these years to come, and how the world is changing rapidly into a whole different state of AI, because that's going to be one of the main things that's changing and turning everything, because we're going into a really, 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 really big switch in life. And people can see it, they can feel it already, but are you ready for it? Do you understand it? And that's what we're going to dive into, to get a better understanding on the job reports of 2025 moving forward to 2030, probably to 2035, but for sure the next 5 years, to get an understanding and a trajectory in what you should be heading to, and knowing what you should cover, and how to constantly hone your skills and keep growing as time goes on, because staying stagnant is not going to be the way to go. So you want to be very resilient in what you do. So with that being said, also one last thing that we're going to get into is, also after we look at that, we're also going to see an individual. He's going to break down. What is he going to do? I forget. He's going to break down, and he's going to speak on the World Economic Forum as well, but he's going to talk about the smart cities. There are smart cities that they have that they're going to put in place, and they're going to put these smart cities in place, and he's going to explain to you how the smart cities are going to be ran, what they're for, what they're going to do, and even the fact that meat consumption is going to be at a scarcity at some point, and meat will be a luxury. Is going to show how they're going to basically show the trajectory of them pushing people into the cities and trying to keep the land outside of the cities for themselves, and have everybody live in these clustered smart cities. And you're going to see how these cities are ran, and you're going to see basically, in a sense, you could probably call them a digital prison at the end of the day. Let's just call it that. So we're going to look into smart cities as well, because all of this ties together: the communism, the feminism, the World Economic Forum job reports of 2025, plus the smart cities moving forward to 2030. All of this stuff plays hand in hand. And as we see people, as we looked on previous shows that I've done, we see people getting fatigued, getting tired, people combating, fighting each other, genders can't get along, men can't get along with women, women can't get along with men, people don't want to get married, having kids it costs too much, it's too expensive, all these different things are going on, finding a job is hard. AI is now a part of the job hiring process. The resumes and job applications are all done online. Everything is just everything has changed drastically. It's just like all up in arms. We live in a whole new world for sure. Like, new world order has been here, but it's like 2.0 right around the corner, if it's not damn near here already, but it's right there. We're on the cusp. We're seeing, Islam come in, doing all sorts of crazy stuff with Muslim and Allah, and they trying to convert people in every household, being some fucking nutcases and being idiots, and I'm not saying all Islams are Muslims, but for the ones that are trying to force convergence on the people, y'all are some dickheads. Like, fuck y'all. To be quite honest, you don't force a religion onto anybody. That is considered an act of war. To remove free will from anybody is a problem, and you should expect the problem to come with that, and vice versa. But there's other Muslims and people of Islam out there who are not extremists, and there's usually more people on the good side of things than there are on the bad side of things as far as extreme measures go. But the outspoken ones, the small minority, tend to be the majority when it comes to the internet. So you see these extreme people pushing this agenda, and it looks like the majority of them are the same way. But, for the extreme ones, screw y'all. For the, the ones that do their thing, practice, and can, respect principles of other religions and cultures, I commend y'all, love y'all. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the show, because we got to get crack-a-lacking We got about 2 hours to get all this in, so let's go ahead and get it started. So where are we starting at? We're on the economy. That is correct. So let's get it started. Here we go.
Welcome to the economy segment of the show. Enjoy.
Yeah, boy, where's my banner? Bam, there it goes. All right, so we're in the economy segment of the show. We are going to start with our first video. This video is Communism and Feminism, and we're going to sit here and get a good understanding of how this stuff works. We're going to see how communism and feminism work together, and does communism support feminism? And if so, is it for the benefit or the detriment? That's what we got to figure out, because right now we have a lot of people hate the patriarchy, hate capitalism. They want to bring communism in. I don't really hear much about a matriarchy, because I mean, a matriarchy goes out the window as soon as a fight or war breaks out. You know, just like feminism. If a war breaks out, feminism goes out the window too. Or if like a bug or a spider shows up. So we're gonna look to see, because whenever I was looking at some of this, he was speaking on Lenin. If you know anything of Lenin, is his name Vladimir? Is it Vladimir Lenin? 1917 Bolsheviks revolution guy Lenin. He's going to speak on him, on some of the things they had, and speak of some of the things that they were doing and how they were trying to save the woman and bring them into communism. But every time he was bringing them into communism, we're going to hear him say something that's going to be very, how do you say, dictatorish. Yeah, there's your word of the day. Something very dictatorish as a sense, or very communistic in a sense. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're making up words here, but they sound good, so roll with it. And we're going to be able to get a grasp and understanding. We're going to try to find out what the real problem is. What is the root of these problems? And is it helping, or is it causing a bigger issue? And we looked at a video yesterday where we saw how to spot a communist, and it was kind of funny because it was from the 1950s. And it spoke on different ways to spot a communist. And it was kind of funny how they spoke about it. But one thing that they did say, right, it was at the very end of the video, how to spot a communist. It was like made in 1950. They said that all communists, some communists blend in. You can't tell. So they showed communists basically marching for the same cause that you would see like anti-communist or anti-feminist women. You would see them marching with, you know, the opposing party's ideology, but behind closed doors, they were still communists. So it's like they were on your side, but they weren't on your side. If that makes sense. They're basically like chameleons, you know what I mean? They'll blend in, they'll do what you do, they would march with you, they'll probably be on your same political party side, all this stuff, but at the end of the day, they still played on the opposite side. And they do this in Judaism. I had showed this to you as well, where they go in, if they get converted by another religion or something, they'll convert. And if they convert, it's against their religion to convert. However, under a circumstance, they can still convert to another religion as long as they still worship their Judaism in private. Everything is still good. So they'll run around here probably in the whole outfit in a mosque and stuff, doing all the stuff as like an Islamic person would do. But behind closed doors, they would still practice their real religion that they really believe in, while operating and looking like one of you or whoever you think they are. You know, so basically at the end of the day, like a traitor. You know what I mean? Like, let's just call it a traitor, what it is. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to check out this video. So this video here is we're going to get started. This guy does a pretty good job at breaking all this stuff down. I was pretty pleased with him speaking on this. Like I said, I had to go over this first to get an understanding, but he's going to break some gems down to us, and we're going to stop and interject in between as we go along. So let's go ahead and get cracking on this. Let me change this banner out real quick. There we go. All right, so let this gentleman here go. He's going to spit some hot fire like Dylan. And here we go.
There's a passage on the Scottish Family Party website.
Okay, so real quick, you already heard him say the first issue right there. He said bringing up children differently, therefore against something, something, something.
Equality. The government must
There, right there, he said it. The government must therefore take care as much of the children upbringing as possible. To, you know what I mean? So already right there, as you can see, with this communist ideology or feminist ideology, the government already is trying to step in and take care of the kid. And if you know anything about a communistic state, they indoctrinate the children with their communism ism. So they're already trying to get their hand in on the nuclear family. They want to go in and interrupt the nuclear family and bring in the communistic mindset, starting with the kids. And then it's like it alleviates the burden of the loud mouth of women nowadays, and some men too. But we hear a lot from women when it comes to childbearing, having to deal with the children. They'll just pawn them off to something else or someone else. So this shows the government will gladly come in, take care of the kid, but they will indoctrinate the kid. And that's what the Islam person said. I heard one Islam person said this, and I showed his video. He spoke on it. He said that there might be people who will be against Allah and all that in Islam. He says, forget them. Don't worry about them. We're going to get the children. And when you speak like that, it to me, it coincides, it's hand in hand with communism, because the way they said that they're going to have Islam in every single doorstep household, and they're going to force you to basically worship Allah. It's like taking away free will. It's like you're being a communist, but with religion. So keep that in mind.
number 2.
That's actually an interesting title. The Woman Question. The Woman Question. Selections from the writing of Karl Marx, J.V. Stalin, Friedrich Engels, and V. Lenin. So yes, you know them people. All those names should strike a bell for sure. It's an interesting name. The Woman Question. So as you can see, everything that you see going on it's tailored toward the woman. It's tailored toward attacking the woman, trying to save her from the big bad man. The big bad man is just hurting the woman with all her heart and all her might. She can't take it. So Big Daddy government has to come down and save her and say, "Look here, baby. Look here, baby. Let me talk to you for a minute. Come here, sweetheart. Let me spit some game in your ear, baby girl. I know that man over there, he ain't doing you right. And that's why Daddy Kami over here gonna help you out with all that. You ain't got to deal with all that burden of them kids on your weight, baby. We got welfare program over here. You don't need him, baby. This is Kami over here. Come on over to the Kami side. You don't need him. Better yet, if you get him out the house, we'll give you more money, baby. Yeah, that's that Kami life. And you can tell your friends too. You can bring them over here, and we'll take care of them the same way we take care of you, baby girl. Hell, we'll give you a big cut. Come on, baby. Come on with this Kami life. You don't need none of that patriarchal man in tune with God nonsense. No, we don't do that over here. You can do what you want. We got LGBTQRS LMNOP over here, baby. Yeah, we do. You can go over there and lick your girlfriend, and we'll high five you. You can have as many dangling in your mouth if you want to, girl. We ain't gonna shame you. It's love. Kami spit that game in her ear, boy. Like, I'ma take your bitch. All right, let's continue. Let's hear some more of these Kamis drop game on these women. Here we go.
So I'm going to read through them. possible when woman can take part in production on a large social scale, and domestic work no longer claims anything but an insignificant amount of her time. Okay, so we're starting off there saying women need emancipating, so they're currently in slavery or bondage of some form.
That's right, baby. Daddy Kami here, and I just want you to know that that man got you enslaved over there. He's trying to give you order and structure, and he wants you to believe that there's a certain order that life can go. But why do you need order, baby? Come on over to the Kami side. It don't make no sense to be underneath that slavery, that rule of bondage underneath that man. Like I said, girl, when you have kids, we'll help. We will take care of them and put them in our best schools. You ain't got to raise them. We got you. Come on to the Kami side, baby. I damn near sound like the snake from the freaking Bible. That's that game that the snake was spitting to Eve, probably. That Adam punked out. But let's continue. All right, let's continue. But as you see, for some reason, it seems like the woman is in some sort of distress or bondage because the big bad man, the big bad wolf, he's clocked her over the head. He shoved his Johnson inside of her, and he's choked her ravagely and hit her with the 2 to 15-second stroke, busted all inside of her walls, and now she's barefoot and pregnant. And now she's forced to cook him meals and sweep and mop the house and wash the dishes. And now she can't do her hair. She can't take a shower. She's just dealing with the horrors of birth and getting ready to have kids because this is the order of the woman and the man. It's unbearable. But don't worry. There's something better on the horizon. It's called Daddy Kami. He gonna come save her. Let's continue.
And the solution to that, the only solution to that, is entering paid employment, to the point that only an insignificant amount of the time is spent on domestic work. Okay, let's stick with Engels. Let's see what he says next.
Don't worry, baby. And just so you won't be sitting around twiddling your thumbs, I got a job for you, and I'm gonna pay you good. I'm gonna pay you good money. Any job you want, baby. You can go be educated. You can go get your degree. I'll loan you the money. I'll loan it to you. That's right, baby. I'm gonna loan it to you. Don't worry about the interest. We ain't gonna talk about that right now. That's just a pipe dream down the line. I ain't gonna never ask for it back. But you're gonna get that job, girl. And you can be whatever you want to be. You can work anywhere you want to go. Hell, you can get you a sugar daddy while you on your way up to get your degree. He'll probably pay off your loan for you. And I got this new thing out called OnlyFans, right? And we can keep it discreet and won't nobody gotta know. You can show your booty hole, your coochie, your titties, and you ain't even gotta show your face, baby girl. As long as you get that degree, you can come on over here with Kami Daddy and be with me, cause I'm gonna work you. That's right, I'm gonna work you. Let's continue.
Then it will be plain that the first condition for the liberation of the wife is to bring the whole female sex back into public industry, and that this in turn demands the abolition of the monogamous family as the economic unit of society. Now, the interesting thing here is this saying that that's the only way, that's the first condition, this has to happen in order to achieve the progress that he wants. It's got to be women working instead of being in the home. The abolition of the monogamous family as the economic unit of society. Now, there's a sense in which that's been fulfilled. If you look at the tax system in Britain, married couples, the men and women are treated as individuals rather than as an economic unit. Now, let's move on. Who have we got next?
Now don't listen to this white man, baby. He lying. Why wouldn't you want more than one ding-a-ling in your life? I mean, granted, when you first hop out into these streets, your frontal lobe ain't gonna be developed all the way, but that's beside the point. The point is, you finna get your education, to be at best, whatever you want to be. Doctor, astronaut, social worker, therapist, hell, carpenter. But I don't want you on your knees doing that kind of work, baby. That's what OnlyFans is for. Yeah. But monogamous, why we want that? We don't want you to be monogamous, baby girl. We do polygamy over here. I mean, hell, you're going to be doing it anyway. Why be stuck in one house with one man when you could travel the world of 7 seas? Be all over the world, getting educated with a degree. And them kids, hell, we'll freeze your eggs. We'll give you an IUD. Birth control pills. You ain't even got to wear a condom when you do the deed, baby. I want you to make sure you feel that meat. And whoever said there's a such thing as a etheric core, girl, they lied to you. There ain't no such thing as an etheric core. That don't exist. That's a fairy tale. That's a lie. They trying to do that to scare you. The patriarchy is trying to scare you. Because you need to be out here in these streets. Why would you be stuck at home with a family trying to serve one dude? Daddy Kami got you. Let's keep going. Socialism is on the way to go. You need to be freed. You need to work. Come on over here with Daddy Kami. We got a bunch of, how did Cat Williams say? Big dick demons that's going to go over here and pipe you down 16 ways to Sunday. Yeah, some of them bisexual too. I mean, we got you, baby girl. You ain't got to worry about all this. All this stuff he's saying, he is square. He is square, girl. And you ain't got to worry about your kids. You can have kids at 40, 45. Don't let nobody scare you and say you got a biological clock. That stuff don't tick. It don't tick. We can freeze your eggs. It is 100% guarantee. Because all he going to do as a man is he going to have you in that house. He going to beat on you. He going to enslave you. You going to waste all your good years with him. Why the hell would you want to start a family then? You going to look your best. You going to look your best. And you can share that coochie all over the internet streets for the world to see. Why would you want to give it to just one dude? We polygamous by nature. He probably going to cheat on you anyway. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Besides, I got work for you, baby. I mean, you going to pay some taxes. Because you can't evade them taxes. And don't worry about it. Your student loans will get taken care of by Sugar Daddy while you on your way getting your degree. So you ain't going to have to worry about that. You good. We socialists over here. All us women, we can get together. And we can all be collective and speak on our oppression. We could speak on all the bad shit that we have having with one another. And then we could do witchcraft and plague them bastards who try to hurt us. Because when we put our minds together, we can make shit happen. And it's going to be all for the better good. Communism. Fuck them kids. We don't give a damn about them kids right now. We trying to get to that bag. These men think they stronger than us, baby girl. Baby girl, look at me. They think these men is stronger than us, girl. They not stronger than us, baby. We got OnlyFans. We got Fansly. We got loyal fans. We got Patreon. Hell, in China they got Likey. This can be a global, worldwide thing, baby girl. We can overthrow the men trying to hold us down, and we can become equal with them. Cause you know that thing between your legs got power. That thing got power. But we're not gonna use just that though. We're gonna use your mind. We're gonna use your mind, girl. We're gonna use your mind. Cause that's the thing they trying to get is your mind. I don't want your mind. I want you to be exalted, to be equal to the man or above him, because that's who you are. You are great. And the best way to do that is through socialist and communism. Because everything else is slavery. And it's trying to stop you from being free. You know I love you.
Or in homemaking in general, that's worthless. The only thing that counts in terms of status is employment outside the home, and women must achieve equality with men in that regard. Okay, carries on to say this. We're establishing model institutions, dining rooms and creches, which will liberate women from housework. Not by housework, I think he means domestic life in general. Now, the communists did institute communal dining rooms, like restaurants provided by the states to save people having to cook in their own homes. But in terms of creches, he's saying we need to provide extensive childcare so that women and men are both free to work full-time so that they can be equal. And if we look at the political parties in Britain and in Scotland, that's what they all argue for. Increased childcare, evermore. Schools opening for longer hours, subsidy for childcare. The Conservatives in Scotland are even proposing schools staying open on a holiday so that they can take children off parents' hands for the longest period of time possible.
Now listen, baby. The good thing about the extended child care is this. We're going to protect your children from all those creeps. We're going to educate them in the best ways that we know how. They're going to know all the good commie ways. They're going to be communists when they grow up. Little, think about your little baby communist. You know what I mean? Little commie junior. You know what I mean? Little commie Ashley. You know what I mean? They're going to be great. And the good thing is you ain't got to worry about no pedos coming to take the kids because we protect the kids. We don't let the kids get harmed. You don't have to worry about pedos. Nowhere. That's never been a problem. It's all been lies anyway. The kids, they don't get touched up. We protect them in communism. Hell, right now you're seeing capitalism, it ain't working either. But when you come over here with us, and the government got your back 100%, oh yeah. When the kids is gone and you out there working and slaving, you and your great husband, partner, you and your partner, because you can still have a partner. That's the good thing. We trying to make sure that it's equal when you're getting there with your partner. So when you and your partner, your male partner, whether he be binary or non-binary, the good thing is your children are going to be safe with us. You don't have to worry about nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, we're going to take care of them because communism is the way to go. So focus on your work. Make sure your husband don't take advantage. I said the H word. Make sure your partner don't take advantage of you, because if he do, let us know, baby girl. Communism gonna come in and kick the door in, and we gonna get a hold of him. And we gonna make sure you raise commie babies. Because we hate capitalists. And we do this in the most non-violent way known to man. Let's continue.
Okay, let's move on. Who do we get to next? We're with Lenin here. Notwithstanding all the liberating laws that have been passed, women continue to be a domestic slave because petty housework crushes, strangles, stultifies, and degrades her, chains her to the kitchen and to the nursery, and wastes her labor on barbarously unproductive, petty, nerve-wracking, stultifying, and crushing drudgery.
Baby girl, don't listen to him. He telling lies. He trying to make it seem like we don't care about your kids or your family or your partner, and we care about them dearly. But it is imperative that you get out there and you work your ass off. You become boss bae. Hell, you become so damn good at what you do that your partner can't keep up with you because you keep evolving. You keep evolving, and he can't keep up. The change in you as time goes on, he can't keep up with the change because he ain't man enough. And then you outgrow him, and then you divorce him. And then we can make up lies in the courtroom, and we'll make sure that we get the best outcome as far as alimony and child support will go, and we'll rape him over the coals. But it's imperative that you keep growing because it's important. And as far as them kids, don't worry, baby girl. Daddy Kami gonna be taking care of them kids the whole time. You don't need to educate them at all. We got them. We gonna teach them addition, subtraction, ABCs, 3, 2, 1s. We gonna read them books about the LGBTQ community. We gonna teach them about the benefits of abortion. And we gonna do this all by the time they turn 6, 7. Because they need to know these things. This is what's going to help grow the society in the future. They're going to know about all the greats. We're going to teach them about Karl Marx, Lenin, Stalin. They're going to know about all the greats. And these kids are going to be the best commie babies you ever had. And when you grow up, the love that y'all going to have between one another is going to be astounding. Just keep working. Don't worry about nothing else, baby. We got you. And anything you own, by the way, we'll hold on to it for you. And whenever you need it, you just let us know because we'll hold on to it. Whether it's your house, we'll keep it in our name. If it's land that you buy, we'll keep it in our name. But whenever you need to use it, you just come talk to daddy government over here and we're going to give you a piece of whatever it is that you want. Don't you worry, baby. I mean, hell, capitalists do it the same way too. If you don't pay your home off, just skip them property taxes, see if that house yours or not. So I mean, just Daddy Kami gonna do you one up better. And that partner of yours, just make sure that you understand he's not just your partner, he's your competition. You gotta outdo him, because if you don't, he's not gonna step his game up, and it's a waste of time. Continue.
Okay, still with Lenin here. It's a far cry from equality in law to equality in life. I could say that's like a move from second-rate to third-rate feminism. Lenin says this: we want women workers to achieve equality with men workers, not only in law, but in life as well. For this, it's essential that women workers take an ever-increasing part in the administration of public enterprises and the administration of the state. Now, is that not a perfect reflection of contemporary feminism? Contemporary feminism is not saying that women are not allowed to do various things. There are official barriers. It's saying that equality is only reached when there's equal representation of men and women in all areas of life. Now, I think men and women tend to have different priorities. They tend to seek a different work-life balance, and they tend to pursue different careers, which I think is absolutely fine. But on this philosophy, it's not fine. There need to be equal numbers of men and women in every area. Otherwise, women haven't achieved equality. Women are somehow lesser beings. Again, it doesn't contemplate the idea that the contributions of women in other areas could be equally valuable and could be celebrated and contribute to the place of women in society. It's a one-dimensional view. It's all about money and employment. It's what you expect from communists.
Baby, he's trying to manipulate you and lie to you. What else is better than money and employment? You tell me. Can you take care of your kids on just love alone? Nah, you can't. And what if that meant partner of yours can't cut it? Exactly. That's why you must compete with your partner. And money and employment is all you need. Because once you got money and employment, you can have all the materials in the world and you can buy time with your money, baby. You can buy time. And your income tax check gonna be fat because you and your partner gonna both get an income tax check. And don't worry about starting a business. You don't need that because we're gonna pay you good out of the company that you have. And if you do start a business, we gonna put that in our name too. So whatever you need for your business, we'll make sure we fund you for your business. Don't worry about the loan and interest or anything like that. It's not important. Because baby daddy Kami gonna take care of you. Don't let him manipulate you, because that man, that partner of yours, is your competition, and you must outdo him at any means necessary. Because he might manipulate you. He might be a narcissist. He might gaslight you because you're a woman. He thinks he's superior to you, that man. That man think he's superior to you. You want to know why? Because for some reason, in his head, somebody told him that he's superior than you. Somebody told him you ain't good for nothing but making babies and cooking in the kitchen. But Daddy Kami got something better for you, baby girl. I got employment waiting on you. You got a degree in education. And as far as I know, as long as the history of governments have ever went on, the government has always been good to people. We have never cracked down on any civilization of folk before. If people wanted to have guns or not, we let them have it. Usually they just turn them into us because they want to keep it a equal society. You know what I'm saying? So just don't listen to the manipulation, because he's a man himself. He's a liar. Daddy Kami.
So moving on, still with Lenin. The working women's movement has for its objects the fight for the economic and social and not merely formal equality of women. The main task is to draw women into socially productive labor, extricate them from domestic slavery, free them of their stultifying and humiliating resignation to the perpetual and exclusive atmosphere of the kitchen and nursery. It is a long struggle requiring a radical remaking both of social technique and of customs, but this struggle will end with the complete triumph of communism. If we were to feminist campaigners today, one of the things that they emphasize is that we need a change of culture. They attack what they call the motherhood mandate. They say in our society there's an assumption that mothers are particularly responsible for the care and nurture of their own children, and they see this as the enemy of equality, as does Lenin. Now, I don't see it that way at all. I think the inclination of women in particular to spend time nurturing and caring for their own children is a fantastic thing. I think it's a unique and absolutely invaluable contribution to society.
You see how he's trying to manipulate you there, baby girl? You see how he's trying to say that you need to be the only one to take care of them babies, and that man can just go to work and have all the fun that he want? He's trying to manipulate you. That's gaslighting 101. He's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. He ain't right. He ain't right. No. He almost had it right, but then he went out with the gaslight and the narcissism and became a liar. He's trying to say that he thinks it's best that you take care of them babies, and that man don't do nothing but come home, take off his shoes, you wash his clothes, and cook him a meal, and the baby crying and snotting all over you. That ain't equality, baby. That ain't fair. Daddy government gonna take care of them babies whenever you gone. I got you. Child care gonna be free. You have free child care for however long you need it. You only need to see your babies like 2 or 3 hours out of the day anyway, baby. Don't worry about it. Again, pay attention to how this man is lying to you, because I'm Daddy Kami and I'm gonna tell you the truth.
For Stalin, sorry, for Lenin, it's utterly worthless, and women just need rescuing from it. Right, we're over to Stalin now. The woman worker stands shoulder to shoulder with the man worker. She works with him in the common task of building our industry. She can help the common cause if she is politically conscious and politically educated, but she can ruin the common cause if she is downtrodden and backward. Not, of course, as a result of her ill will, but because of her backwardness.
It's about time he got something right, baby girl. He's finally starting to catch our drift. You see that there, baby girl? He finally said something that made some sense. I was starting to lose faith in this white man, but man, he finally said something that makes some sense as he understands. You got to focus on your bag, baby girl. Your bag is important. If you ain't got no money or no career, what do you have in life? Nothing. Nothing. You can live your whole life with no kids. As long as you got a career and money, you got everything. You got everything. Can the church say amen? That's right. He finally got it right. He almost finished, baby girl. Let's let him finish up. But just remember, Daddy Kami got you.
If you measure various outcomes for children at a young age, even from early ages, 2 or 3, you can measure differences between parents from different socioeconomic groups, etc. And her theory is if just the state can get all of them at the earliest possible stage and do all the child rearing,
That's right.
we'll achieve equality. What a terrible vision, to take away the role of parenthood from parents and to turn it into a mass production system by the state. But again, the seeds of that thinking are there from the fathers of communism. Now, in reading all this, I'm not saying that the people in the Scottish Parliament are really closet communists. No, I don't think they are. But I think on this area, their philosophy and their emphases are very heavily influenced by the teachings of the fathers of communism. I think it's undeniable looking at that. And currently in Holyrood, there's no party, and Westminster as well, there's no party that challenges this consensus. There's no party that pushes for the rights of parents to choose how they're going to split earning and domestic tasks. The line of the Scottish Family Party is filling the void in Scottish politics. And I think this is an area where there's a huge void and we're here to fill it. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. Let's give a shout out to him for reading that to us right there. Shout out to that guy right there. So as you can see, he sat down and read that whole thing, and basically it's just the state intervenes on every single aspect of family life. The state intervenes. The state wants the woman to be at work with the man, and then in competition with the man, while the state intervenes and raises the kid. Which, I mean, if you look at it, and the way we live our lives now, when it's hard, when it takes two incomes to make a existence happen, to support a household, is almost like what we do now. You know, it's almost like what we do now. You got to have like multiple streams of income, multiple hustles. If it's two of y'all, both of y'all got to go work, and the kid go to school or whatever, and you got to make. Then you have like after school program, extended daycare or early daycare, all this extra stuff. So it's like what he said. We almost live it now in this capitalist type society. I mean, just communism. Just it's. I mean, we're still capitalist, but it could be worse if it goes full commie. So in a sense, with the tightening of the economy and things like that, which kind of pushes us towards something similar to what he was talking about, the communism state of mind or society to live in just pushes the woman into employment and working and pushes both parents away from the children. And then the children doesn't get, for example, let's say for starters, the woman gets pregnant late. All right. So she gets pregnant 30s or 40s. All right. That in itself, the grandparents will be damn near taken out of the equation due to age alone. Potentially. And then if you have another one, if it's possible, you know, the grandparents, you know, the health of the grandparents might not be able to have much time with the kid. And then that child misses out on family things that get passed down, recipes, stories, you know, family lineage and things of that, like all that stuff that comes with having a kid. And they say it takes a village. Well, the village is supposed to come from the family, but now they turn the village into the government. It takes a village to raise a kid. Now that village is the government. And now the government comes in and tells your kid, this is the story of history, of your history. This is the story of your lineage. This is the recipe of food that you should be eating. as opposed to the women passing down the food that they were taught for recipes for their own kids, and they can feed their own kid their heritage of food. Or the kid being able to be with the grandparents as well as the parents and have stories and culture passed down to them and distilled into them instead of everything coming from just the school. Yeah, the school can still teach them some things, help them socialize with other kids, teach them math, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, all that stuff. That's cool. But the kid still needs to keep his or her culture that's distilled inside of them to who they are. And that's what gets taken away, who they are. Because it's not the family doing it, it's the government system doing it. Then the parents, they get taken as well. Because then communism puts a wedge in between the parents. Now the parents ain't husband and wife no more, they partners. The fuck is a partner? This is my partner. Like, bitch, don't call me your partner. It's husband and wife. You know, damn partner. Go get a Black's Law Dictionary and look up the word partner. Tell me what the definition is. That's a partner. Somebody you go into business with. And if you see it as a business, then don't get upset when the business dissolves, because that's what it's going to end up doing. It's going to dissolve. Because it's built off of, and if that's how you want to run your marriage, or you want to run your household or your family, that's cool. Just make sure both people are on the same page. And just understand the longevity of that. The soullessness of that. And who owns that. How that's going to work out in the long run. There ain't no substance behind that. But, I digress. But that's just to get an understanding how feminism and communism go hand in hand. And it's very clear in today's world and society, we are operating in that direction for sure. That's why I believe that communism is here and on its way to, it's here and it's on its way to this country. For sure. It's on its way to Americas, if not already here. And then the way these Muslim Islam people, the way they've been running around and screaming Allah and saying that they're going to have Allah or what is it, Islam in every single household and everything like that, the way they're talking, they sound like some communists. They're gonna force you into their religion, their way of thinking, how to dress, how to talk, how to sleep, which way your head's supposed to face whenever you're laying down, your clothes, your hat, your shoes, your socks. Hell, I don't even think they wear shoes. You ever seen a Muslim wear socks? They always got on sandals. At least the ones that wear the gowns, they always got on sandals. But it seems like that's the way that they live their life, under a communist mindset. And they put all their belief system and all of their belief is all into the great Allah. But what if you were to take their great Allah and put it into an AI model? Would they still worship it then? I mean, hell, they'll probably, I can't even say that, because hell, Christians might worship Jesus if they put Jesus in an AI model. So many people who don't read their books. But just to understand that that's how communism works. And he's way over in Scotland or Scottish or whatever. Let me see, at the very beginning, he mentioned it. It was the Scottish Family Party. So that's way on the other side of the world. If that's the Scottish Family Party, clearly this thing is global, and it's the same playbook. And it restructures the way families work. And I mean, if you can make it work, I would say go for it. That's on you. You have that right to do that. But the problem that I see with it is putting the government in your business. Because every time the government gets in your business, the government puts their foot in your ass. I mean, they do. I mean, the government can help. It can help. It really can. But boy, oh boy, it can also be a huge detriment when it comes to family and spouses. It can be a huge detriment. The most painful thing ever. But then when you go through and like you read like ancient texts of the Bible, it seemed like the government was the thing that was always the issue to the Israelites. Israelites always had a problem with the government system with their foot on their neck. Then you had to come have a savior. Then they get saved. Then they go back to a government system. Then the government put their foot on their neck. Then they get enslaved. Then you got to save them. Then a savior comes. Then they save them. Then they do okay. Then another government system comes in. Then they fall for it again. And you got to save them because now they slaves. They slaves again. It's just like the repeated cycle over and over and over and over and over again. So then at what point do you realize like, hey, but then again, is it a point where you realize, or is it a constant ebbs and flows? Is it a constant up and down that we go on? But my thing is, what happens when you implement AI with this communism? That's my whole thing. What happens when you implement artificial intelligence with communism? That's where I think the coffin gets nailed. I think that's when the coffin nails shut. That's when I think it's like, bro, there ain't no turning back now. Like, it's over. There ain't no fixing this. But speaking on communism and feminism, let's just take a look at it and hear it from a lady point of view. Let's see how, because you have a woman here on TikTok. She explains, or she is venting about having kids, and another lady's going to go back and backdoor and explain to her about the consequences of her decision, and because of her decision, how she taught her how not to be. So let's see who's right and who's wrong, or are they both right in their own right? So here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Here we go. Oh, ay, Jesus. Calm down there, young lady. Wow. Hey, she said, oh my goodness, you're a deterrent for me to want to have kids. Ugh. Insufferable, are we? All right. All right, tell us how you really feel. Calm down. I mean, she's got a point, I can't really tell her that she's wrong. She got a point on that one. I mean, she put it into perspective. I mean, this one's complaining about having kids, and the other one is complaining about the one having kids and saying that you inspired her not to have kids. So it's kind of like the women going on to the women. And I don't know if she's a single mom, but the way she's talking, it sounds like it. I don't know. But let's let him keep going back and forth. It's almost finished. It's kind of interesting to see when you hear him talk about it from both angles. But let's keep going. Okay, so to be fair, on this particular part right here, I don't see a ring on this hand over here. I don't see a ring here.
Without kids,
And
it's completely different.
I don't see a ring on this hand over here. So it sounds like she's not married. It sounds like she could be a single mom, which is why she's venting so much. Possibly. I mean, she could have had kids, and I don't know. I'm just trying to go off of what all we got right here. So it seems like a single mom is venting. Then on the other end, it seems like a woman with no kids is like leaning in, letting her have it. Basically, and she's trying to say it in a nice way, but she ain't said. But she's basically saying this.
Shut up, bitch!
But she ain't exactly saying it. But that's what she wants to say to her. But let's continue. Okay. My God, Jesus, lady, calm down. Wow, Jesus. Oh my goodness. I mean, her rebuttals was kind of harsh, hurting my feelings over here. Jesus. Whew. My Lord, she's going in, bro. Like, wow, easy there, young lady. Easy. Sheesh. I mean, she has a point. I can't argue with her and say that she's wrong, because she's saying that you're complaining so much to the point where you're deterring me from wanting to have kids. And she says, I see you as a parent complain so much about having kids that it makes me not want to have kids. But when I see people on the internet that don't have kids, they don't ever motivate me not to want to not have, or excuse me, they don't ever motivate me about feeling guilty about not having kids. The single life of a single person on the internet actually reinforces me of not having kids is a good thing, as opposed to a person with kids reinforces me that having kids suck, is what she's basically saying. So it's like, damn. So if we take that into consideration and we go back to what this dude over here was saying, right here, what he was saying earlier, it would kind of go hand in hand with what the other lady was complaining about, because she was complaining about free time and having kids and all this stuff. But if Big Daddy commie government were to come in and take her kid most of the time, you'd think she would have, like, for sure took the communist up on that deal. Potentially, because the other chick was like, I ain't having no kids. I'd rather work and enjoy my free time, which then again, it falls into the same structural realm of the communist life, because you're not having kids. You're focused more on employment and money as opposed to a family. So what he read about, both women were somewhat on the same page of communism, but the problem was, in this case, was the woman with the kid was reinforcing the woman without a kid to not have any more kids, because she was complaining about the burden of having kids. So she was just like, well, damn, I don't want to go down that path. That path seemed like it sucks. So it was like a double-edged sword over here. So it's like she's getting her coaching from another woman with kids, and this is the outcome that she's seeing, and she's like, hell no. She's like, hell to the no. She looking at her like, hey, Like, at the end of the day, she was like, hey, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to deal with none of that life and none of that right there. She's like, you come in here complaining all day long. Now, let me take a look at this little chick right here real quick, though. I do want to look at her. I do want to get a look at her because she says she don't want no kids, but, you know, let me take a look at her her full body frame. See if some kids would be nice to put up inside of her. Let's see. Where's she at? All right, here we go. Oh. Let's go ahead and mute this. Well, what we got going on? Let me take a look at her. Let me see what the whole. Well, let's see what she working with. Let me see. All right. Like she on some some fairy stuff over here. She on some fairyland. I can't see what the whole body looking like, but she on some fairyland. I'm trying to see if I can get a glimpse of the whole package, but I don't see nothing. She ain't doing nothing to show the whole frame, but you know. She got an okay face. I can't knock her. She looking all right. But she ain't showing nothing. But you know, I'm not knocking her. She looked pretty decent. Oh wait. This might be a moment of truth. Okay. All right. It's a pretty place. She's in Scotland. What are the chances? She's in Scotland, maybe on vacation. I don't know. Maybe with a boyfriend. Here's your sign to book a trip around Scotland. Okay, I see. And we just looked at the Scottish laws. So what are the chances of reading or looking at a video devoted to Scottish laws? And this chick's went to Scotland. All right. Probably with her Scottish boyfriend. But damn, Scotland look pretty as hell. Look at this. Looks nice. Let me show y'all this real quick. I'm over here talking. Look at Scotland, yo. Scotland look nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Shit, they got old castles up in that joint. Look at that. That looks great. Shout out to Scotland. Look at, man. Boy, that look like a haunted house. Oh my God. At nighttime, boy, that shit looks scary. It look good in the daytime, but at nighttime, I'm pretty sure that's some scary-ish right there. That's me all day. This is me all day right here, bruh. Driving on a highway and seeing nothing but beautiful green pastures and beautiful mountains and hillside. Having some nice loud jamming music in the car. Rolling. Man, oh man. All right. But yeah, shout out to her with this one. But as you can see, the way that we're moving, it seems like communism is the way to go. And I'm not a proponent or an advocate for it. Jesus, Scotland looks nice as hell. Look at this. They got a bunch of sheep. This looks great. Look at this. Man, all right. Shout out Scotland. All right. That looks nice. But yeah, I'm over here trying not to get sidetracked, but she has some good views of old Scotland. Has got me intrigued over here, bro. Wow. Oh, I think I might get a full body frame. Do we get... Oh, no. She came with some bullshit. No. We don't. Nope, we don't. I tried. All right, I'm giving up on her. But yes, as you can see, man, the one of the main issues is it seems like at the end of the day, regardless of what may happen, the push for communism might be the way that most people are probably going to push for. Because if you have people like this speaking about how the family unit is going and everybody looks at it as it's better to work than to be in a system of oppression, I guess you could call it, oppression with the man. Because that lady wasn't selling her on being a mom at all. She was like, yeah, I'm not feeling this whatsoever. She's like, nope. She's like, nah, you keep coming on here complaining. She's like, no, sir. No, sirree, we ain't doing this. She's like, nah, that's your decision. I'd rather be single. Screw them kids. Enjoy my life on my own. So they were both seeming like they were on the same page. And plus what that guy read about communism was like right down that alley. It was right up that alley. No issues whatsoever. So it was like going along with the playbook both ways. It didn't even matter. Now we're going to look at this next video here that we have. And what we're going to see here is we're going to see this guy who's going to speak on communism. It's a quick video. It's like 30 seconds. He's going to speak on communism, how good it is. And he's going to speak on his experience of living in it, which will also give us a take and a better understanding as to how it really works in practice. So let's take a look at this gentleman here. He's going to speak on it. And let's see what he says about communism, living in it in a country where, you know, it actually goes down. So let me see right here. Let me pull this up for you real quick. I'm gonna have to keep her. Oh, she Puerto Rican too. Oh, she Puerto Rican. Oh, so you know she crazy. Oh, she cray. Oh yeah, she cray. No wonder she was so damn outspoken on the damn thing. She Puerto Rican. Yeah, that makes sense. I think she's Puerto Rican. Yeah, I think she might be. I could be wrong. So let's check out this guy right here. He's gonna speak on could communism ever work? Let's hear his hot take on it real quick. Quick video, real short. Let's see what he says. Okay, so as you heard right there, what he was saying, if I didn't know any better, it sounded like when he said something, he said that he was in East Germany and Czechoslovakia. And he had secret police following him around, but they weren't even hiding it. They were just like, whatever. Now, I want you to pay attention to something that he said right here. This is something very, very, very important that kind of caught my attention when he said this. Let's play the little bit clip right here, and I'm going to tie into what he said real quick. Here we go. Listen to this.
Inviting me to say things about the government. If I'd have fallen for it, somebody would have come around the corner, arrested me, and then bad things would have happened.
What does that sound like? Does that sound very familiar to you? Does that sound familiar to you? Because I can actually break this down to you real quick. Listen to what that said. He said that they were trying to get me to make a commitment or try to get me to say bad things about the government. If I did, somebody would came and got me right there. What does that sound like? What does that sound like something? Does that sound like something? Here, let's see what it has right here. Let me see. It is right here. We're gonna go ahead and go to this right here. Let me see if I can find it for you. Where is it? Right here. It sounds familiar to this right here, and it's kind of crazy how you can tie this together, because it's almost like this has been going on for God knows how long. If we look at right here, we'll go to Matthew 22:17 through 21. It says that the Pharisees asked Jesus a question. Pharisees, just replace Pharisees with the word government. Tell us then, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not? But Jesus, knowing their evil intent, said, you hypocrites, why is you trying to trap me, bitch? Show me the coin used for paying the tax. They brought him a denarius, and he asked them, whose portrait is this? And whose inscription? Caesar, they replied. Then he said to them, cool. Give Caesar to what is Caesar, and what God is to God's. In a full agreement, the Apostle Paul was taught. This is also why you pay taxes, for the authorities are God's servants who give full time to governing. Give everyone what you owe him. If you owe taxes, pay it. If revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. If honor, then honor. So basically what this guy was saying right here, let me go back to old dude real quick. I don't want to mess it up. So what he was, no, that's not him. So what he was basically saying was, He said at the very beginning, he said, I read the Communist Manifesto. He said it was a great book and it made absolute sense. The problem was when you put it into practice, he said it was god awful. And then he said that there was secret police following him around, but they wasn't hiding what they were doing. They wasn't hiding their intent. They was blatant with it. They were just following him around, and they were trying to trip him in his words. And he said, if I were to say the wrong thing, somebody would have came and got me right then and there. I mean, that goes hand in hand with the Bible. And he said that that was an issue in a communist environment. Is it safe to say that could have potentially been the same ideology or same situation that Jesus was in during that time? Just throwing that out there. Potentially. Because maybe his stuff wasn't a tax question. He didn't have a tax question. But they were trying to trip him in his words to get him to say something bad about the government just so they could get him. Because in the Bible, they couldn't get Jesus because Jesus didn't operate in their government system. They tried to get him with a tax question so they could apprehend him within their system. But they couldn't because he stayed out of it. In this, he said that the communists, they were trying to trip him up. And they had secret people following him, but they wasn't hiding it. They was like they would try to get me to say something and slip up, and just right there they would grab me on the spot. But he knew it. So you can see, could you basically say that the communist situation could have potentially been something that goes all the way back to the Bible, and could have been something that we've been warned about this entire time? Just throwing it out there. Could it? Could communism be the system that Jesus was trying to tell people to avoid the entire time? Because at least with capitalism, you got public rights and you got private rights. When it comes to communism, they try to abolish all private rights. Who gives you public rights and who gives you private rights? Public rights come from government. Private rights just come from God. But if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. So you have to think about that. You have to think about that. You really got to think about that. And then it makes you think, like, is it really that bad? But then, when he speaks on it, I mean, you can't help but notice that if you look at anybody that comes from Vietnam, Venezuela, Cuba, hell, some people from China, they don't have anything good to say when it comes to communism where they come from. China, up in the air. I can't really say I know anybody from China. But when I look at people from Vietnam, Cuba, and Venezuela, it's usually not good when it comes to the communist lifestyle or socialist lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. It's never good. They're always trying to leave to go to better and greener pastures. It's always a very horrible way of living. And if they can find a better way of living, they'll go to it. It's interesting, but you can't ignore it. But let's hear him say this one more time. I'm going to run it back for him and let him speak on this. He's going to start off at the very beginning. Here we go. Far left, far right. Which one is better? Homie said they are both bad as each other. It don't matter because he said they are both the same bird on both different wings of the same bird. Yeah. Bro's got a point. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to that gentleman right there. Hopefully that gives you some insight. Just to give you an understanding of how, the good old communist system works, if it's good or if it's bad. And like that one Cuban said, if you don't think communism is bad, he said, get a plane ticket and go live in Cuba for a few months and see how you feel. And I was like, that's actually a good point. Because if you go there as a tourist, you're going to see the tourist side. Go there and live as a person, live as one of the people. Then you'll see for what it is. I was like, that's actually a good idea. Instead of trying to bring something over that you have no experience in, go live over there. And I can't say nothing because I've never went to Cuba to experience it. But hell, from all the bad news and bad rep I get, I don't want to go over there. I'd rather stick on the tourist side and enjoy the goodness. I don't want to go over there and experience the badness. You don't want to go on vacation and go to badness. You know what I mean? Unless you have, a ways to means to help people. That's different. But Yeah, with that being said, so what we're gonna do next, we're gonna go ahead and hop into the AI segment of the show because we got to get to the next part of the show because we don't have much time left. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into the AI segment of the show to get an understanding as how deep this socialism can get and how it's gonna look on a different level. And we're gonna look at the job reports of the World Economic Forum and also some other stuff that's going on with Meta and how they are going to basically be reading all your freaking DMs in the future. Let's check it out.
Welcome to the AI segment of the show.
Yeah, buddy. Let me change that banner out real quick. Bam, bam. All right. We got the banner changed. So now we're going to take a look at a quick video that's going to explain that. It says that starting December 16th, it says that Meta will begin reading your DMs, every message, photo, and voice note fed into your AI for profit. It says that Meta is rolling out a new policy that lets them use your private conversations to train their AI. Unless you opt out. So let's see how this works out because this don't sound too good. This don't sound too good. So we got to sit here and see what's going on because I got a feeling that there's a lot of DM debauchery that's going on over these, past years because even Yo Gotti made a song talking about it goes down in the DM. It goes down in the DM. So you can only imagine what's in these DMs. They got, all sorts of pornographic pictures and DMs and flued outs and flight tickets, and people probably more people feel more comfortable probably chit-chatting on social media apps than they do text messages nowadays. So you can only imagine the information that people probably got inside of these DMs nowadays, man. So it's really no telling. So I'm pretty sure if people don't, take heed to this warning, I mean, the AI gonna look at you and be like, hey, buddy, it's December 16th. You didn't opt out. So you know what that means.
Prepare the mixodome.
Prepare to meet it, baby, because you finna get this work. Yes, sir. What you think we're gonna do with that information? I'm gonna tell you right now, the AI is not gonna do nothing positive with your information. Boys are gonna, anything you will say, have, and done will be used against you. It will be used against you. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. To train their AI. Nah, it ain't gonna train nothing. It's gonna show. It's gonna crack that whip on your ass. Anyway, let me pull this up and take a look right here. So here she. Oh yeah, we're using a video from Melanie King, the sexy lady from the chest up. I don't know what the rest of the body look like, but she pretty from the chest up. She in her 40s, but she look good though. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out what this is going on here because we have to pay attention to this because this is starting December 16th. So maybe we can figure out a way how to opt out, and if so, we're gonna do it live. So here we go. Let's check this out. All right, so just letting you know, I'm gonna do this live. If he's gonna teach us how to do it, I'm gonna do it live with him. So we will be pausing to make sure that I can do this as he shows us. So here we go.
And you can only do this on
Hold on, buddy. Hold on. I'm trying to keep up with you. I'm trying to keep up with you. He said privacy center. Okay. And then he says, what's the next step he said? Let me hear it. Let me roll it back a little bit.
Meta uses information for explaining the same thing over and over at work. Watch.
Okay. Jesus. I don't know how that got through there, but let's go ahead and keep going right there. We'll stop the video on her. Okay, we got the pretty face right here. And then I'm going to go here and let me go ahead and do this real quick because we followed along and he's like, this is what you do to opt out. So while we're here, we're going to have to run some opt-out thingies real quick because we don't want to have no problems. We don't want AI to screw us over. Yeah, 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 yeah. We don't want that ish to happen. Let's see what this says right here. It says about whether, okay, you're from an AI or meta model, future or express. We also need evidence of the response that shows your personal information, relevant prompts. Enter that generate a response that includes your personal information. Oh man, that's interesting. A screenshot of prompts. Oh my goodness, they want some detail. They do make it hard. Okay. Huh. All right, I gotta do some reading on this one. All right, we're gonna go on to see on what the next one is because there's another one. So let's let her continue, and I'm gonna save this one here until the next time, and we're gonna look at the next thing that we have going on because we do need to make sure that we learn from others' teaching so we don't fall victim to these shenanigans that they're trying to put on people. So let's continue with the next part. I think there's another one that comes up. So let's see. All right, so we got another one here. She's gonna have if you have a Gmail account. So now Gmail is doing the same thing. She says AI may be reading all of your emails. This is Gmail. Whew, man. So that's gonna be brutal if you have multiple Gmail accounts. But let's see what this one says. Let's check it out.
Happy Monday.
All right, well, I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find the smart features things. That was kind of hard to find. Who the heck is sending crap on my... I gotta, oh, ban, get you out of here. So I didn't see that right there. I tried to find the smart feature thing. I didn't see it. It's not as easy as they make it seem. Probably since they put this video out, they were like, oh crap. Oh, there it goes. All right. Okay, I found that one. Bam. Okay, she did it twice though, right? I think she did it twice. Let's go back and just double check to make sure she has it right. So let's go back and see. Because it looked like she double did two things. And I want to make sure that I got it right because I don't want to screw it up. But yeah, where's my thing? There it is. All right, here we go. Got us up on the screen. Let's move this over here. Let's just double check to make sure that we got it right. Here we go.
Smart features, you're going to want to click that.
I didn't see the other part where she said check these two things. That right there, I didn't see those things. That's what I didn't see. So when she says check these two things right here, I didn't see that. I only saw that one thing. I didn't see those two. Oh, here we go. I see it now. She didn't say to go to this. I see what she's saying. Oh. Okay. Yeah, okay, now I see that. There it is. Okay, that makes sense. So let me see what else she was saying next. She's about to say something else. She was about to go in on something. Did you say one more? All right, one more thing. Let's see if this is right. If this is some more information that we need, because we might, you might need to use some of this stuff to get this right. Because December 16th is the deadline. It's the 4th, so you got like 12 days. But here we go. Let's continue. All right, this is just the women being too damn nosy and taking ChatGPT to the limit. I think we could do without, because women talk to ChatGPT like damn therapists and respond to text messages they get from dudes and friends and stuff like that. So that could be bypassed. Just stop using the damn thing to answer all your questions. Like, have a brain for yourself and talk to people. Stop talking to the damn computer so damn much, crazy ass women. Anyway, so hopefully you took away from it the Instagram one and the Meta one. So no, Gmail and the Meta one. So those two is pretty very paramount and very important. I would say for sure take those things down. You want to make sure that you get a hand and grip on those. I mean, like I said, you seen them, you saw how to do them. I went back, I showed you for them, but you can go follow and look at her stuff as well. She did it, but also showed you. So it's really, really important that you figure that out and get that done. So hopefully you can. Now, let's move on to what this segment is really about. So for the portion of this show right here, we are going to look in and we're going to let this lady right here, she's going to speak to us about the future job reports of the World Economic Forum, because I actually have the report. So I'm going to let her go over this video, and it's a short video. It's like a minute and a half long. I'm maybe interject a little bit. But once we do, when we get done with that, we're going to go over and I'm going to read to you the World Economic Forum job report, because you need to see it and need to get a good understanding of it, because people hate reading, and reading is fun to the mental, if you know what I mean. So We're going to look at the World Economic Forum, and we're going to hear what she has to say about the job report. Then we're going to go in and find it to make sure that she ain't just, telling us no bullshit. But we're also going to go deeper and read a little bit more to it. Then we're going to go to the next guy who's going to break down to us the smart cities, which is going to get really interessante. So let's keep it up. We're almost done because, like I said, it's going to be a shorter one today, but we're getting to the meat and potatoes of everything that I wanted us to learn about and figure out, because you have to know this so you know which direction you are heading in life and what you need to focus on and what you need to do, especially in a world of constantly changing things with artificial intelligence. And nobody has lived a life that, at least in this life that we live right now, it could have been maybe centuries ago, they got ancient technology. But anyway, nobody's lived a life where AI has been a part of their existence. So we don't know how things are going to change when you have, I've showed you robots in the house, cleaning, doing laundry, running into glass and breaking shit in the house. I've showed you all these different things. You see robots are being implemented into household and doing chores. They're going to be rolling out, taking over jobs and stuff like that. So you need to understand, if you're going to do something in life, what purpose do you have and what direction are you going to go in into fulfilling what you're trying to do? Regardless if it's entrepreneurship or trying to find a job, you need to know these things. It's important for the next 5 or 10 years of your life. You got to know what direction you're headed. Because if you don't, you can be a crash dummy. Because Trump already put it out there and said the non-professional degrees, nursing, social workers, physical therapists or physician therapists, architects, teachers, or he said educators, but that's all teachers, and a few other ones he has said. So, and the world is rapidly changing. Workforce, job force is going to be changing. Entrepreneurship is going to be, all this stuff is going to change, and you want to be able to know how to use it to your benefit to, capitalize on it and not be a victim of it. Because as we see, if we're going in this direction of AI, and we're going into the direction of AI, and I believe we're going into communism with AI, I mean, bro, if it get too bad, the only answer that I'm going to have to a life like that at some point is going to be this right here. It's like, yo, communism mixed with AI, they going to try to, the only way out is going to be this. So that's why I want you to get ahead of it and be able to, understand what it is that's going on and what you need to do. So with that being said, let's go ahead and pull this little pretty lady up on the screen. She's going to speak on the future jobs report of the 2025 World Economic Forum, which I believe was released in January of this year, 2025. But, we're in December. We're about 11 months late, but it's okay. Better late than never. We're still in 2025, so at least you get an idea. At least you know. You can't say you didn't know now. So here we go. I'm going to let her talk. The women love to talk. That's actually a very good point when you think about it. If you were alive in the 90s, if you were alive from 1990 to 2000, I was, by the time 2000 hit, I was 12 years old. I can remember my childhood. There was no Amazon, there was no Google, there was no Uber, there was no Netflix, there was no Hulu, there was no streaming. There was so all these new things that it makes a uber amount of sense when you say it like that. It's like, and then times changed, and by the time I turned 18, I'll say like 21, that's when, which was about what, the year 2010, that's when your Netflix started to hop on the scene. Streaming started to become a thing. Looking at the stock market and seeing the prices of what the S&P was back then. Amazon, drop shipping, Shopify, Spotify, and all the, then you saw all the YouTube, and then, what is this Instagram stuff? People got all their business on the internet. They're crazy. It's not gonna last. They're just self-snitching and telling on themselves and putting all the business. And now look at us. A whole empire of life, of businesses, I should say. Businesses and jobs were rolled out that never existed whenever I was younger. So to be able to see that back then and to be able to apply that now and to be like, hey, we're on the cusp of something like this happening again. Are you going to be naive and miss the shit like you did last time? Or are you going to be ready to ride it out and capitalize on it? It's a very good point she's making. Let me let her finish. She got a few seconds left.
Bit of form Uber.
All right, so she made a very, very, very good point there. So shout out to her. Let's give that lady a round of applause. Ma'am, you deserve a round of applause for that one right there. All right, so with that being said, we are going to go into that exact thing. We're going to go into the World Economic Forum, and we're going to go into the jobs, the key findings of the job report, okay? So I have it right here. Let me go ahead and pull up for you so we can see. So this is what I have. Bam. Right here, we found it. You saw this picture behind her before she started talking. She had this in the back. Here's the job reports. We're gonna go right here, table of contents. For those of you who don't know how to look up shit in a book, we're gonna go to key findings right here, page 5, part 1, the future of jobs 2025. So we're gonna go down to page 7, key findings, and let's go ahead and start here. And I'm gonna do some reading for you. Because you're gonna need this. All right, so we're going to start off here. So technological change, okay? So geoeconomic fragmentation, economic uncertainty, demographic shifts, and green transition, individual and in combination, are among the major drivers expected to shape and transfer global labor market by 2030. The Future Job Reports 2025 bring together perspectives of over 1,000 leading global employers, collectively representing more than 14 million workers across 22 industry clusters and 55 economics from around the world. To examine how these macro trends impact jobs and skills, the workforce transformation strategies employers plan to embark on in response across 2025 to 2030 timeframe. This is in 5 years. 5 years. All right, so paramount to understand that. Broadening digital access is expected to be the most transformative trend, both across technology-related trends and overall, with 60% of employers expecting it to transform their business by 2030. What have I been telling you? I've been telling you to keep your head down and grind your ass off for the next 5 to 10 years, and don't add no extra weight. Don't worry about nobody. Don't care about nothing. Stay focused. You got to have your own routine. And do what you have to do and get your shit together. Advancements in technologies, particularly AI and information processing, 86%, robotics and automation, 58%, and energy generation, storage, and distribution, 41%, are also expected to be transformative. These trends are expected to have divergent effects on jobs, driving both the fastest growing and fastest declining roles, and fueling demand for technology-related skills, including AI and big data, which is 1, networks and cybersecurities, and technological literacy, which is 2 and 3, which are anticipated to be the top 3 fastest growing skills. Did you hear that? Fastest growing demand for technology related skills include AI and big data, networks and cybersecurity, and technological literacy. Increasing cost of living ranks as the second most transformative trend overall, and the top trend related to economic conditions, with half employers expecting it to transform their business by 2030. Again, despite an anticipated reduction in global inflation, general economic slowdown to a lesser extent also remains top of the mind and is expected to transform 42% of businesses. Inflation is predicted to have a mixed outlook for the next job creation to 2030. They don't know how inflation is going to be affected, so they don't know if this shit's going to go up or down. While slower growth is expected to displace 1.6 million jobs globally, these two impacts on job creations are expected to increase the demand for creative thinking and resiliency, flexibility, and agility skills. I'm going to read that again. These two impacts on job creations are expected to increase the demand for, you need to be a critical thinker, you need to be resilient, flexible, and agility skills. Critical thinking is going to be very important. Be resilient, be flexible, and agility skills. Keep those things in mind. Climate change. Interesting. For those of you who love climate, here we go. We're going to do a little piece of climate change. Climate change mitigation is the third transformative trend overall, and the top trend related to green transitions, while climate change adaptation ranks sixth with 47 and 41% of employers respectively expecting these trends to transform their business in the next 5 years. This driving demand for roles such as renewable energy engineers, environmental engineers, and electric and autonomous vehicle specialists. All the 15 fastest growing jobs. Climate trends are also expected to drive an increased focus on environmental stewardship, which has entered the Future of Jobs report list of the 10 fastest growing skills for the first time. All right. And then let's see. I'm not gonna. What else should I do? I'm gonna read this last paragraph. Then we're gonna go into this other part down here. All right. This is gonna be important too. Two demographic shifts are increasingly seen to be transforming global economies and labor markets: aging and declining working age populations, predominantly in higher income economies, and expanding working age populations, predominantly in lower income economies. These trends drive an increasing demand for skills in talent management, teaching and mentoring, motivation and self-awareness. Aging populations drive growth in healthcare jobs such as nursing professions, while growing working age populations fuel growth in education-related professions such as higher education teachers. Okay, we're going to go down here and we're going to look at this. This right here is going to be important. Y'all must pay attention to this, okay? This is going to be very, 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 very important. Was there something else I read down here? I want to make sure I didn't skip nothing. Let's see. Oh, yes, I do need to read this. The next paragraph. This is very important. Yes, okay, this is important. Here we go. Geoeconomic fragmentation and geopolitical tensions are expected to drive business model transformations in 1/3 of surveyed organizations in the next 5 years, okay? Over 1/5 of global employers identify increased restrictions on trade and investment, as well as subsidies and industrial policies. 21% as factors shaping their operations. Almost all economies for which respondents expect these trends to be most transformative have significant trade in the U.S. and China. Employers who expect geoeconomic trends to transform their business are more likely to offshore and even more likely to reshore operations. All right, so here we go. These trends are driving demand for security-related job roles and increasing demand for network and cybersecurity. Here we go. They are also increasing demand for other human-centered skills such as resilience, flexibility, agility skills, leadership, and social influence. That's important. That should tell you something. There's an increased demand for other human-centered skills. Be resilient, be flexible, agility skills, be a leader, and have social influence. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there and create content. Instead of being a consumer, be a producer. Here's this part right here. This is important. Frontline job roles are predicted to see the largest growth in absolute terms of volume and include farm workers, delivery drivers, construction workers, salespersons, and food processing workers. Care economy jobs such as nursing professionals, social work, and counseling professionals, and personal care aides are also expected to grow significantly over the next 5 years, alongside educational roles such as tertiary and secondary education teachers. Technology-related roles are the fastest growing jobs. In percentage terms, including big data specialists, fintech engineers, AI and machine learning specialists, and software and application developers. Green and energy transition roles, including autonomous electric vehicle specialists, environmental engineers, and renewable energy engineers, also feature within the top fastest growing roles. Last part, I'm going to read this and then we're done. Clerical and secretarial workers, including cashiers, ticket clerks, administrative assistants, executive secretaries, are expected to see the largest decline in absolute numbers. Similarly, businesses expect the fastest declining roles to include postal service clerks, bank tellers, and data entry clerks. That should tell you what you need to know if those are something that you specialize in. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. So these jobs right here are gonna see a huge decline. So something's gotta give. If you're in one of these positions, you're gonna have to make a pivot. Got to be flexible. Got to be resilient. Got to retrain. This right here ain't it. This ain't gonna get you to where you need to be. Just letting you know. Got to put it out there. These jobs right here are not it. They're saying that these are going to have extremely fast declining roles. So just keep that in mind. All right. All right. Here. Oh, and right here, this is what she read. Where is she at? This girl right here. This is what she read. Let me see if I can find it. She read this. So when she was talking, oh, God dang it. When she was talking, she read this right here. On average, workers can expect 2/5, 39% of their existing skill set to be transformed or become outdated. Here we go. We found it. So just to let you know, we're on the same page as she is. On average, workers can expect 2/5, 39% of their existing skill sets will be transferred or become outdated over the 2025-2030 period. However, this measure of skill instability has slowed compared to previous editions of the report from 44% in 23 and a high point of 57 in 2020, which means that people have already been taking the initiative to change things over. Okay. Analytical thinking remains the most sought after core skill among employers, with 7 out of 10 companies consider it as essential in 2025. This is followed by resilience, flexibility, and agility, along with leadership and social influence. Keep that in mind. AI and big data tap the list of fastest growing skills, followed closely by networks and cybersecurity, as well as technology literacy. So if you get into AI and big data, or also get into networks and cybersecurity, as well as technology and literacy, get into those. Okay. And then complementing these technology related skills with creative thinking, resiliency, flexibility, agility, along with curiosity and lifelong learning are also expected to continue to rise in importance over the next 5 years, 25 to 2030. Conversely, manual dexterity, endurance, and precision stand out with notable net declines in skills demand, with 24% of respondents foreseeing a decrease in their importance. 24%. That's a lot. That's a lot. So this is important. And I could read a lot more of this, but I just wanted to read that, at least that portion of it to you, to let you know that there's a big change coming and you got to be ready for the change. It's happening. You can't ignore it. Can't ignore it. And I just showed you the areas of businesses that expects the fastest declining roles, which is what I showed you earlier. So if you hear there's job openings at post offices and banks and data entry roles, clerical work, secretaries, cashiers, stuff like that, yeah, there might be positions open for those, but there are also going to be positions that are going to be taken over quickly. Tiny, what up, Tiny? What's going on? How you doing, Tiny? So just keep in mind of those positions, okay? So now that I've showed you that, because I had to read that to you because there's a lot going on. The last thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at this individual here. I was supposed to be expecting a phone call. I guess they haven't called yet. The last thing is this right here. We're going to look at smart cities, all right? This individual here is going to speak on smart cities and what they have, and what they have in store for us for smart cities coming in the future. So the World Economic Forum has smart cities and what it will do. Now, with all of this that I've had showing you going on, with communism, feminism happening, then also you have the World Economic Job Report from 2025 to 2030. Okay, couple all this going on, right? Couple all of this is happening. How you got to be able to be resilient, pivot, get ready, change, be agile, be resilient, figure out what sectors that you want to be into, move yourself in that direction, have new skill sets. Also, they have smart cities coming, okay? We're going to look at what smart cities are and what they're aiming towards to put you into as all these new skill sets be added to the world as well, and what they're trying to do with these new things called smart cities. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and check out what's going on. See, been battling Docker and Ghost setup. 3 days of pain, but finally sorted. I'm not sure. What is Docker and Ghost? I'm not sure what that is. What is Docker and Ghost setup? Huh. Well, let me know what that is in the comments and I'm going to get back to you. So right here, we're going to let this guy break down what smart cities are. And I'm going to have to interject because it's a pretty long video. So I'm going to butt in here every 40 seconds because, I don't want to just keep him rambling the whole time because YouTube and all that good stuff. So here we go. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I'm going to take you to
All right, so you see right there at the very beginning, they're already saying that they're trying to do something with the food, limit your food intake, and land. They already got 30% of the land. They don't want no humans on 30% of the land. So it's like, think of it like use flat Earth as a model. I know a lot of people don't want to believe in flat Earth, but use flat Earth as a model. If you got flat Earth, you know what? Let's look at let me actually pull up a flat Earth. And Tiny says, what do you say? Software for containerization. I can't read that word. Containerization. There we go. Software for containerization, and Ghost is a site that supports blogging. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Well, hey, I'm glad the 3 days of pain is over and you finally got it sorted. Shout out to you for that, for sure. Got to put that hard work in. Yes, sir. That's what it's all about. Or ma'am. Tiny aim. I don't know if you're male or female, but yes. Good work. I salute you. As a matter of fact, let me give you a round of applause for that while I pull up this flat Earth. Round of applause for Tiny aim. Yes. So let's take a flat Earth model. I think we can use this. Okay, this will actually be a good one to use. This will be fantastic. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Macho Man Randy Savage coming from the top. Elbow drop you below. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. All right, here we go. So look at the flat Earth. Bam. So Canada, the United States, Latin America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia. All right. So let's look at it from this perspective, okay? Flat Earth, no globe, flat Earth. You know, then here's the ice wall that they say is Antarctica. If we look at it from this perspective, if they say that, and we have to think of this as a global thing, because this is the World Economic Forum. This isn't the United States Economic Forum. This is the World Economic Forum. So if he's mentioning that they're trying to put everybody's in the smart cities, right? And they're trying to leave 30% land vacant for them to have. That means they're trying to push everybody into like small containers of land, right? So let's say like right here, let's say from Canada, we're going to wrap people around here. They're going to wrap them around to, you know, the top of Asia, Canada, these Northern African continents, which would be considered Western Europe over here. So Western Europe, Asia, and Canada. Or we'll go a little deeper. We'll say United States, Northern Africa, South Asia, and yeah. So we'll say around like that. And then they got 30% of vacant land. So they're trying to push everybody in these clusters. Like so. They're trying to push everybody into a cluster like so. Trying to make sure you can see it. And then they'll have the land, you know, maybe on the outside or whatever it is, but there'll be 30% land away from everybody else. So then they can, I mean, hell, have utopia wherever they want to go. And then they don't have to worry about sharing as much food, I would say, because then the resources that they have for the animals will just be shared amongst a lot fewer of people, because they're already talking about genetically modifying the meat or giving you 3D printed meat, which is just straight ass if you ask me. So yeah, but let's let him keep going because he just started there. Out of interest, what is the country smack in the middle? So is the North Pole in the center? Oh, good question. Let me go back to that for you. You said, out of interest, what is the country smack in the middle? You're saying right here? Would you say right here? What would be the country smack dab in the middle? Because right here you would have Canada. This would be like Greenland or Iceland, or, you know, Iceland, Greenland. Alaska's here, Canada's here, Iceland, Greenland, Iceland. Okay, so he's saying right here, what's smack dab in the middle? That's a good question. I don't know. And to be honest with you, there very well could be a land or a country right here, and, you know, we're just not able to go to it. The same way we're not able to go to freaking Antarctica. Because look, we're looking at a map from a flat Earth perspective, and you don't see Antarctica on this thing as far as the 7 continents go. You don't. This is Australia. You know, Antarctica, if it was a regular map, it would be down here at the bottom underneath South America. But we don't see Antarctica on a flat Earth map. You see Antarctica on a, I guess you quote unquote, regular map, but not on the flat Earth map. They would consider the ice wall of Antarctica, they would consider all of this and around Antarctica, since Antarctica is all ice, is what they say. You know? So this, I would say, it would be, you know what? I'm gonna give you my answer. Let me just give you my answer. Since you asked, I will give you my answer. Let me see. Let me find it for you. So I will give you my answer. Let's see, because I do have an answer. I just forget what they call it. So let me go ahead and hit an answer for you, because I do have it. Let me just give it to you. Let me see. Give me a brief second here. Since you're giving me a good question, I want to give you my answer. Whether you believe in it or not, it doesn't matter. I want to give you my answer. All right, so we have this, that. No, that's not it right there. They won't give me the answer. Where is it? Because I used to have this answer. I just forget where I put it. I don't know. Can you hear that beeping in the background? There's something beeping back there. Somebody's backing up their SUV or their... There it is. There it is. Can't believe I found it. Can't believe I found it. All right. I won't be able to read it. I won't be able to read it because the wording on this is hard to read. All right, so here it is. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I found this. Wow. Okay. So let me find this picture. Let me put this picture next to this picture. All right. Damn, I can't believe I've actually found it. All right. Oh. Stay stay still. Stay still. Don't move. Okay. So we got this. We got that. Okay, so here we go. What this possibly could be. And like I said, I won't be able to read this off to you. This is just me going down a rabbit hole of research that I've done over the years, because I go hard on conspiracies and ancient texts and civilizations, and I'm into all of that stuff. So, you know, I kind of put all different texts together, and, you know, sometimes you always have to ask yourself about the world, and you have to wonder how the hell they find different civilizations underwater. And you have to ask yourself, like, if you can find a whole civilization underwater, does that mean at some point the water level that we live on, does that mean at some point the water level was down there, and over time, somehow, some way, it's up here to where it is now? Because if you can find a whole freaking civilization underwater, freaking, you know, like freaking pyramids and statues and stones and all that stuff, if you can find it like depths underneath the water in the ocean, then that would have to mean at some point the water was that low and people were living there, and then somehow the water rose and we're up here now living on a whole different civilization when water must have been down there, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, that's just me talking. But here we go. So here's what you're asking about. You're asking about this right here. I'm gonna zoom in real close. Boom. Come on, zoom in. Boom. You see it right there. So this right here. All right, so here's this. If you can see, and I can't move this too much because the way this thing is, but you can see the Canada. I'm smack dab in the middle, but below it is Canada. Above it would be Asia. To the right of it would be Western Europe and Greenland. To the left of it would be Alaska. All right. So then back out. If I go over to this right here, it's an older map, and pretend that this right here would be the black dot. Oh shit. This is the black dot. Okay. This is the black dot, and around this is 4 land masses that is around that black dot that was on the other map. So what I believe, which I could be wrong, is that what that black dot we were looking at, this is the black dot that we were looking at, and around the black dot are these 4 land masses, which in some biblical texts, you can probably, they say that you could equate this potentially to the Garden of Eden, or this could just be a landmass that people are not able to know about, or they're not able to go to because, number one, you don't see it on a regular map, and number two, it's like a no-fly zone. Like they won't let you go over it because planes will never go this way over this landmass. So this right here is the black dot, and then there's 4 little islands, or I say islands, but pieces of land surrounding the black dot, which probably have some kind of great history or who knows what, because if this is located smack dab in the center of a flat earth map or globe, we can call it globe or flat earth. This is a flat earth map, but we can say if this is smack dab in the center of the globe, then you'd have to ask yourself, that could be the North Pole. Then if it's a globe, this would be the North Pole, then directly below it would be the South Pole. Or flat earth, this would be the center of the whole freaking earth. If it's the flat earth, it's the center. You have to ask yourself, what kind of like electric polarization, hell, what kind of resources would be in the dead smack dab center of the earth, or North Pole, whatever the hell you want to call it? You know, you have to kind of wonder what that could be. So there is no country in the center. It looks like the North Pole. But yeah, exactly. You could say there's no country there. But I'm saying, like, through my conspiracy theory of research, from what I've learned, that this right here, this black dot, is this right here. This land, this water with this island in the middle. There's an island right here, and there's water, and it has 4 different branches of rivers going out on 4 different pieces of land masses going around it, and there's an island right here in the middle of it. So this will be the whole black dot thing here. But on a map, they don't show you that. They just show you nothing. They just say, hey, here's Greenland and Iceland, and then, you know, the only thing you would have to do is get a boat and just like ride around here. And that would be the only thing I would say you could do. The best thing to do is to get a boat, go to Greenland or is this Iceland, whichever one, and just see if you're able to roll around here. Or get on the internet and see if anybody has done this they damn self and see if they've rolled around here and found anything or if they're allowed to go through here. That would actually be the best bet. Anybody who live here in Greenland and Iceland, has anybody ever taken a boat and went around here? Because I think this is where you get the best view of the Auroras Boreas, you know, the skyline that turns those beautiful greenish, yellowish, reddish, turquoises, emerald colors. You would get the best view of it up here. But, you know, that's just me talking. But anyway, let me get to this real quick before I get sidetracked too much. But yeah, I just want to answer your question on that. I know I kind of probably went over your head, and I do kind of go kind of far with that kind of stuff. But that's just what I would think. It piques my interest on those things. Anyway, World Economic Forum, smart cities. Will they limit your food? Let's see what this guy has to say here. So here we go. Let's continue. I tried to look this up, but this video was made in June of 2023. I tried to find this, but it's not there anymore. But he said currently it's there, so it's not here anymore, but let's continue. Did you hear that? Buddy said these socialists got a lot of great ideas. Again, why I keep preaching, that's why I think so much we are headed into socialism, communism, without a shadow of a doubt. Only this time it's going to be on steroids because AI will be a part of the socialist communist experience, which if you know anything about the Bolsheviks revolution from 1917, how they implemented the turning into the capitalist Russia into USSR communist regime. Now they took that same playbook and brought it over here, but this time I think they're going to get it right. Well, not think, but they're going to get it right. And you just heard the super rich powers that be are socialist minded, so the world's going to be a communist hellhole. That's what I think.
Why don't we
Peace and social betterment. Now, when you hear those things, you always got to ask the one big question. Peace and social benefit for who? That's what you got to ask. People will always think like, oh yeah, it's in our best interest. They don't give two shits about you. That's the thing. That's the whole thing. Like, you hearing peace and betterment, they not talking to you. They're like, we're going to enslave you. We talking about peace and prosperity for us. Our heaven is your hell. So if you think we talking about you, you can think that. But when we lay it down, the smack it down upon you and it feel like this, and you start feeling all of this extra shit he's about to start talking about, then you're gonna realize, like, oh snap, they wasn't talking about saving the 8 billion people on the earth. They was only talking about saving like 500 million. But let's continue. By 2030. So, if you've been looking at what I've been saying so far, if they're talking about, remember, we just looked at the trajectory of the job market from 2025 to 2030. Okay, we just looked at that. The job report from 2025 to 2030. Okay, now he's going on smart cities and talking about the food consumption from 2025 to 2030. And they're trying to get the meat down from 16 kilograms, I believe is what he said, or something like that, to 0. So on top of jobs having a huge dramatic change in the world markets of, job employment, and 24% of people are going to be, displaced or out of job or unskilled for the coming jobs by 2030 in 5 years. Also, a big change is coming as far as food goes within these smart cities. So if what he's saying on this side over here is true as far as the food go, this shift that's coming is going to be fucking hellacious. Like, it's going to be extremely, like, crazy, because we're going to see jobs change dramatically to AI. Robots going to be implemented on the streets, because Elon's already made it clear by 2028, 2030, 2032, for sure we're going to see robots all over the damn place. Plus, we're having food changes, food restrictions, meat changes, because meat's only going to be for the rich and the wealthy, because they're already talking about faking your meat and faking your food, pause. So we're seeing a hell of a big shift coming in 2030. That's why I'm always telling you, keep your head down and grind your ass off. And I've already showed you the jobs that are going to be in huge growth and the ones that are not going to be in growth at all. So you see it coming from a mile away. You just have to strategically apply yourself like you've never applied yourself before, and do not take on any dead weight. Do not take on any dead weight. Don't take on any extra debt. Clear your debt, clear the cards, get everything good with whatever it is in your life. Be a debt-free person and just focus and go all in, because the stakes are high. The stakes are high, because I don't see no way of getting out of this shit once you're in it. And yes, everybody's going to be in it, because it says in Revelations 13. Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, big or small. It doesn't matter who you are. You're going to feel it. But if you're going to feel some kind of pain, I always say I'd rather feel the pain rich than fucking broke. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. But let's let him continue, because I got to get up out of here. Here we go. So 2,500 calories a day, but there's no milk or no dairy products. So what the hell are you gonna eat? Is the question? Well, he did say he did say, if he's talking about Charles Schwab, he did say you will eat the bugs and the likes it, is what he said. So I see where he's going with this. But if you compare what he's saying to to a to a future of a crazed futuristic movie that you can think of, this is the picture he's depicting. Basically, he's painting a picture of a sci-fi movie that we've seen, whether it's In Time with Justin Timberlake, or what the hell is that, or like The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis, or what's that one movie, the 2049 movie? Oh my god, I can't think of the damn movie name. What's the name of the movie? It's Blade Runner. Blade Runner. All these like distant movies, you know what I mean? But they're talking about taking away meat and dairy by 2030 and cutting you down to a food caloric limit to 2,500, but with no meat or no dairy. So just taking the nutrients right out of you, but they need you to survive, but literally removing all nutrients, so putting you in a very malnutritious state of survival. So you ain't getting out of this shit. Let's continue. All right, so real quick before he goes on to this last part, I'm gonna let him finish out how he mentioned the holistic cost and stuff like that. If there's one thing that I've studied and I've always noticed, is that whenever you study communism and socialism, especially when I studied the Bolshevik Revolution, I went over that, and you study any other revolution that's to do with communism, is one thing that you cannot ignore is, number one, the violence, and number two, the starvation and malnutrition of people turning over the system from a capitalist society to a communistic society. That they've even mentioned that there's always a 10% decrease in population at the start of transition into the new system. They always say that there's always a 10% decrease in population when you transition into a new system. So from going from capitalist to communist, they say that that's what happened in the beginning stages of the Bolshevik revolutions, because even Ukrainian had the Ukrainian they had the is it called the Ukrainian Holomdorn or something like that, where they had a, from 1932 to 1933, like 7 or 8 million Ukrainians died. I mean, it's ridiculous, with like starvation and stuff like that. It was brutal. So whenever you're transitioning from one system to another, and you know we're due, this is like 100-year cycle coming up, especially for the Great Depression, because the Great Depression, we're about to be in a 100-year cycle from the Great Depression, which was 1929. Bolsheviks revolution was 1917. Like, we're in a 100-year cycle of a major change. So something big is on the horizon. Whether you want to believe it or not, you cannot ignore this. But let's let him finish up. He got about a minute left.
Okay.
50 years for a 20-year car, and they want you to have no cars on the road because they basically want everything to be automated. 3 pairs of clothes, no meat, no dairy, 2,500 calorie deficit or max limit of food. Extreme changes in jobs. And only the rich will enjoy meat on special occasions. Yeah, I'd say that's about where we're at with that one. I think that'd be the only thing that would save the world at that point, because that sounds like heaven for someone else and hell for a lot more of others. That's all that sounds like to me. I don't see it going any other way. That sounds like the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, where the class system was so damn far from the lower poor class of people. It was just like, there was no way of you getting ahead unless you got lucky enough for somebody to give you a fortune, which that shit don't happen unless it's passed down through family. So it's clearly a socialist society coming globally for the entire world, which is why I say we're moving to a communist society, whether it's in America or globally. What they're speaking on is not a countrywide thing. They're speaking on a global wide thing, but on a socialist communist level of epic proportions, utilizing AI on top of that with the technology. You remember I told you Larry Ellison, the leader of Oracle, the CEO of Oracle, who says that using data centers to compile all the information into one data center, then that one data center has information from all over the world, all governments, all civil, all health, all information, all data, whether it's your health, business, finances, whatever, from the entire world, put it into one data center. That one data center, now information is reasoned by an AI, and that AI reasons all the data because everybody's now digitally tied to this one system. So then you want to call an antichrist a flesh and blood person? It won't be. It'll be a system ran by a artificial intelligence. And what will that antichrist look like? Whatever they want it to look like, because an AI can look like and sound like whatever you want it to sound like. And that AI will not have a beating heart, a pulse, an emotion, a thought, a morale, nothing. And once you're in it, you ain't getting out of it. And then how will they be able to monitor everything that he just mentioned? Well, they'll be able to monitor everything when you're in that kind of a situation. Your food, your clothes, your intake, everything will be able to be monitored with ease. And he's talking about all this by 2030. That's why I say keep your head down, grind your ass off, focus, do what you got to do. No dead weight, no extra people. If friends or family are not on the same page as you, fucking forget them. Ain't nothing you can do. You got to figure out how to do what's best for you and yours around you who are on the same page, like-minded individuals that can see the bigger picture, that can see what's really going on to make something change, because you can only help others if you can help yourself, but you don't want to be dragged down with other people that are not ambitious or have the same mindset as you. So focus and do what it is you got to do and make a change. With that being said, I got to get up out of here, man. Hopefully you learned something today. I got to get up out of here ASAPidly, pronto. Thank you for tuning into today's show. I will on the flip side on Friday, so thank y'all for tuning in. I thank y'all so much. We'll catch you tomorrow. Take care, love you, and peace.
Thank you for watching D. Elliott Fitness live stream. Goodbye.
It's big hard, baby, I'm out some meat. Pockets chunky like cottage cheese. Real nigga, I just gotta be. Smoking weed that don't gotta see.
bread, then buy the dream. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay. Now my fame won't stop, no, the only thing I'm chasing. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay. Can't wait no living in overtime. In the booth, playing beats. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay. Now my fame won't stop, no, the only thing I'm chasing. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay. Can't wait no living in overtime. In the booth, playing beats. Counting cash and smoke green, can be blow cloud like a smoke machine. Your bitch on my dick, she got no to sting. Bumblebee ass, yeah, I know it's thing. I plug your bitch like a 6 string. Jordan with the bitches got 6 rings. Smoke till my bitch split